There is no terror in the bang, only the anticipation of it. Alfred Hitchcock has always been the master of suspense. But what makes his film style so gripping? Was it the Panavision VistaVision cameras that he filmed with, providing a high-resolution widescreen 35mm motion picture? Or the high sharpness, fine grain and excellent color rendition provided by the Eastman color negative? While this could be argued, what really keeps the audience glued to their seats is his use of editing, lighting, cinematography, mise-en-scène, and sound design to guide his audience through a journey of shock and suspense. In this sequence from Rear Window, a plethora of editing techniques and dimensions are used to aid the natural flow of the story. The first of which is Podofkin's simultaneity. Hitchcock uses this to control the pacing of the film as well as build tension multiple times throughout the sequence. As Lisa is risking her life to investigate Thornwell's apartment, the quick cuts between her and L.B. Jeffries intensifies the audience's anticipation. This also helps to plant the bomb in front of the audience, as in accordance with Hitchcock's bomb theory. This is to not only get the shock value when Thornwell begins to manhandle Lisa, but keep them on the edge of their seats the whole time he's away. Hitchcock combines this with spatial editing to better place the audience member in Jeffries' shoes. Because we only see what Jeffrey sees and we only hear what Jeffries hears, the audience is able to relate with the protagonist's struggle. This pays off extremely well as Jeffries looks on in despair as Lisa is captured by Thornwell and Jeffries has no choice but to watch and wait. The bomb is planted again as Hitchcock cuts from Jeffries and Stella with their backs turned to the window to Thornwell leaving his apartment. The audience waits in anticipation as they know while Jeffries is having a long-winded conversation with Doyle, Thornwell is slowly making his way over to Jeffries' apartment. Alfred Hitchcock's use of cinematography and lighting help build further suspense as the sequential progression of shots increases the pacing from medium to fast pace. This is done by starting with the mid-shot and pushing closer and closer into a close-up before the tension is released again as the police arrive at Thornwell's. The use of color theory is also prominent in this sequence as Lisa is in a white dress symbolizing her purity. This paired with the harsh red brick contrasting from when it was day, which it was a dull brown, foreshadows the danger that she is about to be in. This is also replicated again as the red that Thornwell sees while being bombarded with light emphasizes his anger towards Jeffries. Hitchcock uses motivated light to enhance the remainder of the scene, as only one light is used, the fill light coming from the open window. This ambiguous use of light and shadow also comments on the blurred morals of the protagonist and questions his passive observation. It also creates a sense of unease as the shadows created by the new lighting setup play with the audience's mind as questions of what could be hiding in the shadows begin to surface. This is all part of the Hitchcockian thriller genre, as Hitchcock famously says, "I believe in putting the horror in the mind of the audience and not necessarily on the screen." Hitchcock also uses selective framing to contain the characters in their windows, which emphasizes the separation between the observer and the observed. This then plays into the mise-en-scène of the film, as the large built-for-studio set acts to highlight the isolation that Jeffries feels, showing each person in their own box. Not until this is inevitably broken, as Jeffries falls out the window. Notice the lack of non-diegetic sound in this sequence? Throughout the majority of the sequence, the only ambiance was the diegetic music being played by the band. This is done to make the audience feel uneasy, as it is out of the norm. The thudding footsteps and sharp clicking of Jeffries' camera are used to further immerse the audience and keep the scene really grounded. This break of sound during the confrontation is used like a grand pause, or fermata in concert music. The literal purpose of the fermata is for dramatic effect. It's used to create a sense of anticipation, which is exactly what Hitchcock creates during this silence. The tension is lifted again as the familiar city sounds contrast with the earlier silence, offering an auditory relief and resolving of the suspense. While the technical tools of Hitchcock's masterpiece undoubtedly contribute to its appeal, it's his deliberate and masterful use of the cinematic language that truly grips the audience. Rear Window remains a masterclass in suspense, not because of what it shows, but because of what it does not.